Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
The four solutions that the government is bringing to you and me are: number one, release more oil from a strategic petroleum reserve, even though we're at a record low level. 2, the suspension of the federal gasoline tax. 3, gasoline stimulus checks. And number 4, gasoline vouchers for Americans. So we're gonna go over the 4 in detail. Let me know what you think of our government's 4 ideas. I'm always curious to know your opinion, and I look forward to reading your comments down below. Thank you so much, and let's get started. We're gonna start with America's Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the SPR. The SPR is America's stockpile of crude oil. So we store the oil in underground salt caverns at 4 sites, 2 in Texas, 2 in Louisiana. The SPR has a maximum capacity of approximately 720 million barrels of oil. So back in 2009, we were there. We were at maximum capacity. The oil in the SPR, that's for emergencies. For example, if we're at war or for natural disasters. So we started drawing on that oil from our reserve in 1991 during the Gulf War. We took oil out of there in 2005 for Hurricane Katrina and in 2017 for Hurricane Harvey. Using that oil for natural disasters, that is the most effective utilization of that oil from our reserves. Ed Hers, an economics professor at the University of Houston, said, "The reserves have been used effectively during disasters such as hurricanes, but it's not intended to be an economic buffer." So Hers is basically saying that high gasoline prices, that is not a good reason to use our emergency oil reserves. So clearly the federal government doesn't feel the same way. The Biden administration ordered the release of 50 million barrels from our reserves on November 23rd. 50 million barrels, that is a lot, but keep in mind that America, we use 20 million barrels of oil a day. According to the US Energy Information Administration, the 50 million barrel release, that decreased the average price of gasoline by 2 cents in the next few days. 2 weeks after November 23rd, the average gasoline price dropped by another 3 cents. So a 50 million barrel release that brought our average gasoline price down by 5 cents. So President Biden recently said that he's gonna release another 30 million barrels from our reserves. So currently we have drawn down our reserves to 580 million barrels. This is the lowest level since 2002. So we're at a 20-year low, and we're continuing to release more oil, another 30 million barrels. A big concern is, so what is America gonna do if we have a real emergency like World War III or a natural disaster? So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Moving on to option number 2. The politicians, Republicans and Democrats, they want to suspend the federal gasoline tax for the rest of the year. So when you buy gas, there's so many taxes built into the price of gasoline. There's a federal tax of 18.4 cents per gallon. There are state taxes. There are also locality taxes. So Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan, she is leading the charge. Hassan said, "I continue to call on the Biden administration to take the steps to mitigate the impact of rising prices at the pump through the passage of my bill that would eliminate the federal gasoline tax for 2022. Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, who's a co-sponsor of the bill, said, "Washington must do everything possible to prevent the costs of this conflict from falling on Americans." But a lot of politicians, they are not on board with this bill because they're saying that there's no guarantee that the cost savings is going to get passed on to the consumers. Critics are arguing that this would decrease funding for road projects, and the government, they may have to borrow more money to make up for the lost tax revenue. So the politicians that are against the bill, they're saying, if there's a risk that consumers will not experience the savings and it reduces government tax money, then it's not worth it to them. But this option, it's still on the table and it's still being discussed. Option number 3 is the gasoline stimulus checks. This is coming from the Big Oil Windfall Profits Tax Act. The bill was introduced by Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna and Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. The co-sponsors are Senators Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown, and Michael Bennet. So here's the proposal in a nutshell. You take a look at the average price of oil from 2015 to 2019. So back then, the price of oil, it was much cheaper. And then you take a look at the price of oil right now. Big oil companies, they would pay a 50% tax on the difference. So if the price of oil goes up, then the more taxes that those big oil companies would be paying. The tax collected would be sent to Americans as a stimulus check every 3 months. They want single people making $75,000 a year or under, and married people making $150,000 a year or under to qualify. The stimulus checks would be $240 to single people and $360 to couples. And this would be for the year, not quarterly. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse said, the intention is to curb alleged profiteering by oil companies and provide Americans relief at the gas pump. Congressman Ro Khanna said, the bigger thing is that it's gonna save everyone money. If you're big oil and you look at this, you're not gonna wanna pay this tax and you're gonna be willing to lower your prices. However, I do wanna mention that this plan, it could backfire greatly by spiking the price of gasoline and big oil companies passing that on to the consumers. So please let me know your thoughts on this bill. Gasoline stimulus checks, good idea or bad idea? And the last one that the government has for you is gasoline vouchers. Our politicians are discussing this idea, and let me simplify for you, what would happen here. So you would receive a voucher. So I don't know if it's gonna be a paper voucher, if it's gonna be digital, or if it's gonna be a combination. So this is all preliminary, but they're talking about $300 a month. So you can claim these vouchers for gasoline when you fill up. So you could think of it like a gift card too. And if you don't use the vouchers, then you can redeem them for cash. So you can redeem them for cash because if you don't have a car, or if you use public transport, or if you don't drive often, then it would be unfair to you. So you can just trade the vouchers for cash. Stuart Hoffman, a senior economics advisor at PNC, said, this is a great idea, and vouchers should be provided to all Americans who previously qualified for stimulus checks. However, environmental activists, they're already attacking this plan because they don't want the government to be promoting fossil fuels with gasoline vouchers. So let me know what you think about this plan for gasoline vouchers. In terms of where oil prices are headed, at least in the near future, you have to realize that the price of oil, it was going up before Ukraine and Russia. So oil prices, they were headed up naturally because of the industry underinvesting in new production and increasing oil demand from the relaxing of COVID restrictions, and we're talking about globally, not just specific to America. If the Russia-Ukraine fighting, if that comes to an end, we would see a substantial decrease in oil prices, but prices are expected to remain elevated for the foreseeable future, even if there is a resolution. So if the fighting does not come to an end, oil prices, they're expected to continue rising because of supply side disruptions.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.